Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to another Warcraft replay here. Yep, group projects are done, assignments are done, or at least the long ones, and yeah, going back to it. I decided at the end it's probably not worth doing all the hassle about trying to do a special replay for the 100th. To be honest, this series has mainly just been on ladder games. So yeah, we're just gonna stick to that. This one is a little special. This is from a tournament. I believe it is from the, I think, Golden League qualifiers for something. Oh god. But yeah, this is also the first time we have Moon matching up versus 120 on the channel, and this is the first game that has 1.31 patch. So yeah, this is from the March Pro qualifiers of the summer season of the WGL, and not sure if it's been cast by Back to Warcraft, but oh well, shrug. Yeah, let's just make this an exception. It is still a Netease replay, so it still kind of falls under the same jurisdiction, so there is going to be that. We have introducing the players. We have 120 spawning in as the blue undead player on the top right. He'll be starting off with a Death Knight. And we have Moon spawning in as the red Night Elf in the top left, sticking with the Keeper of the Grove. Now the Keeper did receive some nerfs in terms of intelligence, I think going down by like 1. I know that's really crazy. He did receive a vision nerf in terms of nighttime, and yes, some ability nerfs. I don't think Force of Nature got hit. I'm pretty sure it's something like Tranquility definitely got hit in terms of the invuln time at the beginning of the cast, and maybe Entangle, but I'm not exactly too sure. That wasn't really the highlight of the patch. The highlights were kind of the item drops that could be picked up from the creep camps. So the major one is obviously Tome of Experience is completely removed, and I was surprised to see that happen, but to be honest, it is really swaying of an RNG kind of elements in the game, and it probably is understandable that it get removed, as we do have a DK coming over with a Death Coil to steal a couple of Kobolds for himself. Oh, he actually stopped himself there, I'm not sure why. That will give level 2 over to the Keeper of the Grove, despite losing one of those creep monsters there. Pin of Energy gets picked up for the Keeper, and yeah, Shadow Priest needs to be a little careful. He can easily get sniped with the Death Coil, but it seems like the DK is just gonna run away now. So yeah, back to the patch notes. Tome of Experience, although it is a rare occurrence, it can be one of those momentum gaining kind of factors there, so I'm very surprised that it got removed. We also have Boots of Speed getting removed from the drop table, as well as we have an Entangle being cast onto the DK. Obviously, since he is a hero, it is going to last significantly less than normal. But yeah, Boost of Speed gets removed, and I believe you can now buy, or the shop starts with 2. I think that was a change that happened earlier, or at least potentially was going to be a change in, I think, like 1.27, 1.28. So yeah, that's back now, and I mean, it's not really a major thing, since not many people go buy a boots and then sell a boots to make sure your opponent doesn't get it. But of course, that is now a possibility. That is no longer a possibility now that shops start with 2. And now that boots don't actually get dropped, it is probably going to be more important to get those at the shop as well, as we do have an early tier 2 coming in from 120, as we do have a bit of a delayed graveyard being placed down here. Entangle is going to be cast onto those ghouls. Death Coil is going to be used to heal up that trapped ghoul. Unfortunately, he is getting whirled away by those treants, and another Entangle is going to come down, as yet another Death Coil is also going to be cast as well. Second ghoul is going to get sniped by the archer there, but the Death Knight will be able to get that level 2 thanks to, I believe, the treants getting killed off there. Oh, bit of a late Death Coil, which is kind of unfortunate. But yeah, Sack Skull is actually going to get picked up, which is rather surprising. I'm not sure what it's going to be used for. It could just be that provide the blight for maybe the the Ogre Magi camp so those ghouls can heal up, but yeah, I think Undead got, surprisingly enough, they got a new item that can be purchased from the Tome of Relics, which is, I believe it's Yusaka unit, and it provides like 100 health around it, which is really, really weird. Of course, I'm pretty sure it could be used on skeletons, so skeletons could just be the sacrificial lamb for that to be used to heal up the ghouls. Of course, it does open up options for Undead to not start with the Death Knight first, but since we do have a DK first this time around, it's not going to be that important, as we do have a Wisp putting down the detonation there to prevent, or try to prevent, the Acolyte from building stuff, but we do have a smidget of Blight to work with, and we are going to have at least one of those Ziggurats being placed down there. Early expansion here for 120, which is very rare to see for an Undead. We also have an early expansion for Moon as well. I'm not sure if 120 knew about this, but this is good timing for probably just both sides. Keeper needs to be a little careful here. Unholy Aura ghouls are kind of tough to outrun, especially without that boost of speed, and now that the Lich is out with his Frost Nova, that is going to be extremely difficult to do as well. He also has the TP Scroll and TP Staff if he needs to, and seeing as how not much CC is actually available for the Undead, TP Staff could potentially just be used. Panda comes out as the second hero here for Moon. He did get a bit of a buff with his Breath of Fire damage, and yeah, Haunted Goldmine is going to get cancelled straight away. I believe it got cancelled. Nerubian Tower is on the way, but unfortunately Nerubian Towers aren't really good at defending things, so yes, the attack is now gone, but we kind of need Spirit Towers to actually put up a better defense. And this is exactly what Moon wants. Delaying his opponent's expansion as long as possible is just, you know, all out great. And yeah, that is going to be that. Lich should be a major player here when it comes to DPS, but the Panda, we'll have to see how much he actually hurts because of his buff, as we do have a Gargoyle in the air. I think he's just for scouting purposes, as it is weird to see a Gargoyle at this stage of the game. We are just going to be transitioning most likely into the Destroyers and Crypt Fiends. It's actually just that we don't see any Crypt Fiends. Huh. Another Force Nature is going to come down, and the Treants are going to go straight after the Haunted Goldmine once again. Yeah, it looks like this is going to be a cancelled Goldmine here, as the Panda with the Breath of Fire actually goes after this statue rather than the Goldmine. Regardless, the Goldmine is going to get cancelled once again, and yeah, like I said before, Nerubian Tower, only there for the slows. Spirit Tower now being completed. Third time the charm maybe for 120. He is being delayed quite a bit, and he is suffering for that. We are actually producing a lot more Gargoyles than I would have thought, so this is an interesting decision to make for 120, especially since Night Elves do have a plethora of ranged units. But oh, it seems like third chime is not a charm, and yikes, Moon is kind of winning in terms of just straight out taking advantage of his opponent. This gold mine is now fully saturated, and it is mining without harassment, and Double Ancient Lore with tier 3 on the way as well. You can see the power of Force of Nature is just absolutely crazy. Despite Keeper getting his nerfs in this current patch, it seems like okay, that's rather anticlimactic there, as we do have a Panda being killed off with a Death Coil. I still have no idea why the game freezes, but yeah, that is going to be that. Haunted Goldmine once again getting cancelled there. Honestly, I'm surprised that the Keeper didn't get hit harder in terms of Force of Nature, because you can see how crazy it is. I mean, yes, Treants do give away experience when they die, but since there are some units, they do give away reduced experience, and of course, if they do die to towers, then experience is lost completely. 120 I believe this is his 4th or 5th time rebuilding this haunted gold mine, and like he is so far behind when it comes to resources here. You can see on the top left, 600 versus 240, and when we go over to population as well, I mean, it's not that bad. I could have sworn that 120 had a lot less big of an army, since he doesn't actually have that much. He has like a couple of gargoyles, I guess. Okay, so he has gargoyles in the air trying to harass, but this is a really weird tech for him because, well, yeah, I don't exactly know what they're gonna do. Sure, they can go straight after those wisps, but is that really worth not actually having a good bulky army? I don't know. And we are still producing gargoyles, which is still baffling to me. We are going to have some dryads coming over for Moon, but I believe he is going to start producing his bears since, yeah, they did get their buffs back after the subsequent nerfs from, I believe, 1.29 or something like that. I don't exactly remember when they got nerfed, but yeah, let's see how well these gargoyles perform. There's not that many dryads, thankfully, and the panda is only level 1, so it's not going to be that devastating to deal with, but yeah, the bears are at Master's training right now, so they can afford to rejuvenate and of course afford to go into bear form. Gargoyles kind of try their best to snipe down those dryads there, as we have yet another Breath of Fire coming in on those gargoyles, thankfully. Level 1 Breath of Fire, still it'll be tanked by those gargoyles there. Tomb of Relics is going to be replaced very, very soon. 120 is, surprisingly enough, holding this back, despite what I thought to be a weaker army comp. It seems like, yeah, it seems like Moon only went for 2 dryads, and you can see here right now, he completely regretted that. He is going to start mass producing those dryads, because I believe mass dryads is obviously a lot better than mass gargoyles. Gargoyles just have the advantage because they are flying units and they have the mobility, but yeah, once it becomes mass versus mass kind of strategy, they are going to struggle quite a bit. As you can see here, Urgamola dropping the Wand of Illusion. Panda does have the Orb of Venom, so he can start wailing away against those air units there. But yeah, he is still only level 2. So, what's really surprising to me is he just got level 2, but he's so close to level 3 as well. So that Urgamola camp must have given quite a fat, juicy amount of experience. Keeper also very close to level 4 as well. Lich almost to level 3, and the DK just recently acquired level 4 himself. Lich needs to be careful not to get too overextended here, as here we go with the fight. We do hear a couple of dryads getting killed off, but Moon has such a superior number of such a superior number of units here that I'm not sure how well this is going to fare with those gargoyles. Treants are going to try and wail against those spirit towers there. Death Coil is trying to heal up those gargoyles, but with so much AoE damage coming in from Moon, these gargoyles are just going to drop like flies. A bear is going to get taken down thanks to a Frost Nova, but is that going to be enough? The Spirit Tower thankfully is still staying alive, and it is kicking very hard, but yeah, these bears are going straight after the Roving Tower, and the Frost Nova is going to take down one of those bears. And yeah, despite having a 20 supply army, this base is still alive for now. Of course, this Spirit Tower is gonna get killed off as the Acolytes just switch their repair to the Nerita Tower for some reason. Either way, we are gonna have a TP, or at least a preservation of the Keeper back home, so it might delay things a little bit. Panda, can he actually take charge of things by himself? So far it doesn't look like it, so I believe Moon is just going to try and regroup as best he can, and yeah, just try his hand at yet again another attack. We are going to have destroyers on the way. We are actually at second crypt now, and we are producing a crypt fiend, so I think we're having split production here. Gargoyles, crypt fiends, and destroyers, so yes, it is a very expensive army comp, but I mean, he does have that second base, so he probably could afford it. Another attack is coming in once again. 30 supply difference now, so yeah, I don't actually know about this. 120 Where on earth is he? He is actually just doing the mercenary camp right now. I don't know why, but I guess he was just trying to get experience for his to get that level 3. He might have to regret that, as he did lose his acolytes, and that is going to be one base down on farming that gold mine. That is a lot of dryads, and they do exceptionally well versus those gargoyles there. Gargoyles going straight after the heroes, which is definitely not wise to do. Death Knight, he does have TB scroll available, but I mean, when he TB scrolls, he is going to be forced to abandon this expansion. And yeah, it seems like Moon's quick transition into Mass Dryads was able to seal the deal here. Nova Coil onto the Keeper, trying his best to snipe down that hero, and he just barely misses on that, as Berserker's Staff is going to come down, and a GG from 1-0 as Moon takes this game, and rather convincingly as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I hope to cast maybe an Orc game, because the Blade Master got his crit strike back from before the nerfs from, I believe, 1.29 or something like that, where it does total damage instead of base damage. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Apologies, it's not anything spectacular, but yeah, this game was pretty good.